started the hypnotherapy journey when I was 32 years old. I had questions and I had blocks, and that's what really launched me into it. And then later on, I became certified as a hypnotherapist and a past life regressionist. I'm going to share you some stories of some of the incredible experiences my clients have had and I've had. One of my clients actually went back as a starseed on a blue planet where the people were humanoid-like blue. And it was a place of incredible peace. And there were shamans and healers, and they lived in the woods, and everything was blue tinged. And there was a beauty of self and a community. Another client went back into time, another starseed, and I could tell that she was distraught at looking down at her hands. When I said, "Look at your hands, what do you see?" And she said, "I see tannish orange skin with polka dots on the skin, black polka dots." And I said, "How many fingers?" And the way she paused, I knew she did not see 5, but she said 5. After the session, we talked about it. She said, "I saw 3 fingers." I said, "I know." And she said, "How did you know?" I said, "Because of the way you paused. You couldn't compute that your hands had 3 fingers, not 5. And that was a past life as a starseed. I actually had a past life as a starseed where I saw us as yellow people, yellow-skinned, like a pale, fleshy, like the skin of a lemon. And we had white hair and gold eyes. And I was meeting one of my divine counterparts in a jungle. And the same issues that I was going through with him in this incarnation, we were having in that incarnation. I had another client who had problems with men. She kept attracting the wrong men. And she was having a problem with the masculine. And so one of the past lives she had was she was a little girl, probably in Scotland, and in the 1800s, like say 1850s, thereabouts, 1860s. She was about 12, and her father was fantastic. He was such a good father. And then right after that incarnation, she moved right out of it once we realized her relationship with her father was so beautiful. She came into a past life where she saw a wagon with a broken wheel. And I asked her, "Look down at your feet, what do you see?" And she saw boots. And I asked her, look and see if you can see your reflection from water or a mirror or whatever. And she said, "Oh my God, I have a hat. I have a beard. I'm a man. I'm a man." And she realized in that past life that she was married to a very pretty woman. It was around the 1880s in France, and she was a farmer, and the wheel of her wagon had broken, and she was upset. He was upset. So he was walking back to the farm, and there was his pretty wife cooking a wonderful meal. She got to see what an amazing marriage she had and what a good man she had been. So both of those past lives had shown her that in one case, her father in the 1850s, 60s in Scotland had been a very good man, a very good father, and respected her. And that she also had been a good man. And the journey for her had been to heal her ideas that all men aren't good, that all men cheat, that all men denigrate women. And she got to see that in the 1800s. 1800s, when you would have thought misogyny would have been full on. You see, another hypnotherapy session had to do with a woman who needed to heal herself and her body. And she was able to find out what was going on. She was able to connect with her body and talk to it and to see what was happening to her body. Another hypnotherapy session was with a man who somehow was a Vietnamese soldier and who had somehow helped and saved people from the Red Army. And that gave him a sense of pride that he was a person who helped others, even in the face of danger. There's so many stories I could tell you about healing trauma, about understanding your connection with yourself and other people around you. In one of my own LBL, past life connections, I not only was able to meet my husband who has passed away, I was able to meet some avatars. I was also able to meet my guide, my actual guide that's been with me my entire life, and to find out what my spiritual name is. And I was able to see my grandmother, who was a little girl. I saw a little girl running towards me around between 4 and 5 with long braided hair, jumped in my arms, and I knew immediately that was my grandmother. The way hypnotherapy works is you may have an intention, but as I said in the previous video, the soul wants you to know what it needs you to know for your own good. And so whatever is downloaded is for your very best. And trauma of, say, a connection with food or emotional eating or whatever is going on, anxiety, may not be healed immediately. It may take some time for you to process it, but eventually you'll find that healing space. One last thing I remember, and it was a past life that actually made me become a hypnotherapist because it was traumatic. I was having a lot of anxiety that people were going to take me away. It was like nonsensical, it made no sense. And I went to my hypnotherapist and found out that I had a past life as a 19-year-old boy, and it was 1900, somewhere. I'm not going to say the country, but it was very snowy, and I was pulled out of my house, and I was executed with a rifle to my head, and it was very traumatic. But the minute I understood where that trauma was and what was causing my anxiety, the anxiety in my case went away. Like on the spot. Like once I came out of that particular session, I was healed. And it was having these multiple type of experiences myself with my own personal hypnotherapist that drew me to actually go and look into becoming a certified hypnotherapist. And here I am, offering what I adore. I do respect and adore talk therapy as well. And when talk therapy isn't giving you what you need at the particular juncture in your life, this might be something you may want to consider. And so I do Zooms with clients all over the world, and it's very successful. I've done my own personal hypnotherapy sessions with some of my colleagues for myself through Zoom, and they're just as powerful as being face-to-face, believe it or not, which is surprising. It surprised me. But I've gotten some amazing healing from it personally myself. And I can say that many of my clients have found that they were able to find solace and peace and an understanding of their transcendental truth. Many of us are starseeds. Don't be surprised what comes up. With that said, sending you much love. Namaste. Looking forward to hearing from you.